Hi there, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. I am Snehi Shah. This is a show where we'll be taking you through all the big buzzers in today's trading session, tell you why all of these stocks are in focus, and also bring an expert to talk to us about some of these stocks on the technicals as well. Before we do that, merits to take a look at the market right now. We are losing steam continuously when it comes to the Nifty 50. At one point we were below the 20,600 mark, but now we're even struggling to hold on to the 23,550 mark. So it's a further cut coming in, and almost at the day's lowest point coming in for the Nifty, a 0.5% cut coming in, and roughly almost 150 to 200, it's a 177 point cut coming in from the day's highest point. Let's pull up the Sensex. That's also almost at the day's lowest point, and in tandem with the Nifty, slightly intensified cut coming in over here. A 0.6% downfall is what we are seeing on the Sensex, close to 500 points cut on an intraday basis. Nifty Bank too almost at the day's lowest point, and that one has been lagging away in today's trading session ever since the get-go. It's a 0.7% cut coming in on Nifty Bank right now. The broader markets then, the mid-cap space was offering some hope to the market, but that now too has slipped into the red very nominally. Small cap continues to languish in tandem with the Nifty, 0.5% cut coming in on that one. Sectorally, it's been the day for the auto pack ever since the get-go in today's trading session. So autos continue to do well. Of course, Ashok Leyland on the back of their SML Isuzu stake acquisition is up 3%. Nifty Metal and Auto are the only two indices you have right now in the green. Everything else in the market is languishing away, is in the red. Nifty Media is your biggest loser, almost a 2% cut coming in over there. FMCG, IT, PSU Bank, Realty, Pharma and Media. These are your sectors that are in the green, from the least to the most losing sectors today. On the stock specific front, some stocks have been focused ever since the get-go. IndusInd Bank, Trent, M&M, Power Grid, BEL are some of the select stocks that are doing very well on the Nifty 50 front. On the flip side, Axis Bank, Tech Mahindra, NTPC, Cipla, Kotak Bank, Bajaj Finance, Infosys. So it's largely the banking and IT names that are taking a hit in today's trading session. But on that note then, let's get started on this edition of Market Fatafat and start talking about all the stocks that are abuzz in today's trading session. We'll bring on board our technical expert in just a while, but right now from our research team, we have Gaurav who's joining us in the studio. Good afternoon to you, Gaurav. We'll come to you in a bit, but first let's talk about a big flyer in today's trading session, and that's NCC. Now the stock has been in focus. The stock was high as much as 6% in today's trade after the company announced bagging two major orders from state-run BSNL. The company said it has received two advance work orders worth a total of 10,804.5 crores from BSNL for the design, supply, construction, installation, upgradation, operation and maintenance of the middle mile network of BharatNet. The first contract, valued at 2,647 crores, covers the Uttarakhand Telecom Circle, while the second, worth 8,157 crores, pertains to Madhya Pradesh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman-Diu Telecom Circles. Both projects have a 3-year construction period and a 10-year maintenance period. What's very interesting to note is this is a 10,800 crore order win coming in. NCC's market cap itself is 12,000 crores. So this order win is very significant, and it's a huge one coming in for NCC, on the back of which, even though the market is largely consolidating, you have a 3.5% uptick coming in for NCC. So looking good on the fundamentals right now is this company. But Gaurav, coming to you, good afternoon. And Siemens is the stock that you've picked out for us. Tell us what's the news flow and why have you picked it out for our viewers today?
Yes, Siemens is in focus, and it is also up in trade today, and the reason being that now NCLT has approved the demerger of its energy business. Now Siemens Energy Limited will be formed, and the demerger ratio is going to be in the ratio of 1:1, so that if you have one share of Siemens Limited, you will get one share of Siemens Energy India Limited. Other than that, a record date for this transition is going to be on April 7, 2025. And when we look at the business, Siemens Limited will continue to focus on other businesses like automation, digital industries, mobility and smart infrastructure, while Siemens Energy India will be focusing specifically on the energy related segments, specifically on the energy solutions and transmission and distribution. So definitely a new move, because of which focus will be diversified and given to a particular segment. When we talk about both the companies are specialized and are going to grow faster than the industry, and that is the reason why when we look at the stock performance also, it is up in trade more than 7% now. So definitely on the back of this news flow, watching out on Siemens India.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on Siemens. That stock is also doing very well in today's trading session, a 7% uptick coming in. Well, good afternoon, Nilesh, and pleasure bringing welcoming you on the show. So, Nilesh Jain, Head Derivatives and Technical Research of Centrum Broking, is joining us on the technicals. Nilesh, let's come to you for your first stock that you've picked out for us, and Trent is the stock that we are talking about. Now, on a year-to-date basis and the 6 months basis, the stock is lower anywhere between 25 and 30%. Although today the stock is holding up pretty well amid a sideways market. What's the technical view on Trent, and do you believe that the stock can make a comeback in 2025?
Very good afternoon to you. Absolutely. So the stock, after a sharp decline that we have seen recently, it is forming a good base formation, making an attempt to surpass its 50-day moving average today as well. So today, in spite of such a weak market, this particular counter is outperforming, and it is sustaining well above 5,300 mark. Looking at the overall setup, we are expecting a follow-up move to continue towards 5,500 to 5,800 from April series point of view. Buy and decline should be the strategy as long as it sustains above 5,000. So that's the psychological support, as well as that's the 21-day moving average support as well. So 5,000 should be the stop loss for the long position. Buy and decline should be the strategy. 5,500 followed by 5,800 will be the immediate target from April series point of view.
Okay, so that's a take coming in on Trent. Let's shift focus and talk about another stock that's in focus in today's trading session, and 1.5% uptick coming in from Marico. That's the stock that we're talking about on the back of a Motilal Oswal note coming in this morning, wherein they've reiterated their buy rating, target price of 775 rupees per share. They model 11% and 13% revenue and EBITDA CAGR for FY25 to 27. They're also embarking on the portfolio diversification strategy, and the company is aiming for steady double-digit growth via volume and pricing. They expect rare double-digit revenue growth in FY26 as well. Now, this is rare because no other company in the FMCG basket is aiming for a double-digit revenue growth in FY26. So that's a bold target coming in from Marico. The new age business is all set to drive growth. Foods are going to post 20 to 25% CAGR. Innovation pipeline is looking strong. Parachute coconut oil to grow 5 to 7%. The value-added hair oil segment is also set to recover. Parachute and Saffola demand is looking steady despite the 15 to 20% price hike that the company has undertaken. They've expanded their general trade reach via the Project Setu, but quick commerce also contributes roughly 3% to overall India sales, so both trade channels looking good. International business looking steady, and Motilal Oswal flags that the higher input costs may impact margins in the short term, but long term it's all looking positive for the stock. On the back of this, Marico is up 1.5% as we speak. But Nilesh, coming to you, ABB is the stock that you've picked out today. Today this stock is also holding up pretty well, but last 6 months, similar story is Trent. It's a 30% cut that we've seen on this stock. Very nominal recovery since then. So what's the outlook on the charts going ahead? You pencil in better days for ABB now.
Well, if you look at this particular sector today, Capcoat as a whole, if you look at Siemens as well, ABB, both the stocks are showing strength. Specifically ABB, it is also forming a good base formation after a drastic correction that we have seen from the levels of 9,000 to 5,000. Now the stock has found a very strong support at 5,000. It is making an attempt today to surpass the 50-day moving average. Looks good on the chart for a move towards 6,000 to 6,200 on the upside. So from a very short-term perspective, we are bullish on this particular counter. One can buy with a stop loss below 5,350, and immediate target would be 5,800 followed by 6,000.
Levels to watch out for when it comes to ABB India. Let's shift focus. Gaurav, you've picked out HAL for us, Hindustan Aeronautics, and there's positive news too, I believe. Tell us what it is.
Well, yes, Hindustan Aeronautics, when we look at the stock performance also, it is up in trade today, and the reason being that when we look at the news flow, as per agencies, now GE Aerospace has started the deliveries of their engines to Hindustan Aeronautics. These engines will be used for Tejas Mk1A flight, and when we look at the delivery, let's look at the history as well. Hindustan Aeronautics has given order for around 99 of such engines, and these will be delivered to HAL. Now, why this is going to be a huge impact and impactful news for HAL is that analysts earlier believed that if the delivery started, it will be a sign that these deliveries will get to HAL on time, and it will also fulfill the order book, and that is the reason this positive news flow is actually pushing the stock price up. When we look at the importance, this is actually an important milestone for the company as well, because GE Aerospace and HAL has been partners for the last 40 years, and this also marks as a very important steps in this partnership. So definitely on the back of the positive news flow, HAL is in focus and also up in trade today.
Okay, so that's the reason why HL is in focus and up in trade. Before we move on, just want to draw your attention to two stocks right now. Bharat Dynamics is one of them. They've won a 4,362 crore order to supply to the armed forces. That's what we are understanding from agencies. That's what they're telling us. So Bharat Dynamics, very sharp spike coming in the stock price. It's managed to flip over to the green and almost a 2% uptick coming in for Bharat Dynamics. So that's the stock that we wish to highlight. Also, the second stock in focus is Maruti Suzuki. They've named Sunil Kakkar as additional director. This is what agencies tell us. And other than that, also there's some capacity expansion news coming in for Maruti Suzuki. They're setting up a third plant at Kharkhoda, and the capacity addition is going to need 7,409 crore rupee investment. So it's going to be interesting to watch out for how they raise this. And they're also all set to add another 250,000 units per year capacity at this Kharkhoda plant. Positive news flow coming in, but the stock is not reflecting that sentiment right now. So we'll just let that be and revisit Maruti Suzuki in some time. But BDL is a stock that's doing well. But moving on, Nilesh, coming to you, you've picked out Crompton on us for the charts. On the charts, tell us what your outlook is on the charts, because stock is doing okay today. Last 6 months, it's lower by 13%. Last 1 year, however, the stock has given very decent returns. Do you believe that the stock is again on the footing, on the path to to re-achieve what it had done in the previous financial year, or do you believe that now there is some time for slowdown for CG Consumer?
Well, see, if you look at the overall structure of this particular counter, we have seen a gradual decline. But in this kind of decline, we haven't seen any base formation. But now, in last couple of weeks now, we are witnessing a good base formation activity. The accumulation have already begun, and the stock has already surpassed its 21 and 50-day moving average. So looking at the recent volume pickup in this particular counter, that is hinting that this stock is likely to inch closer to 380 to 400 mark. Now 400 is the major barrier. That seems very difficult to break, but yes, from a current level perspective, the risk and reward looks favorable with a stop loss below 345. Crompton is a buy for a follow-up move to continue towards 380 to 400.
Okay, so buy call coming in on Crompton. On that note, viewers, we'll slip into a short breather on this edition of Market Fatafat. We'll have both of them staying on with us, Nilesh as well as Gaurav, when we come back, and we'll keep going with the big buzzers just on the other side of this short break. Hi there, welcome back to Market Fatafat. Let's talk about all the stocks that are in focus and continue discussing some of these buzzers. And Zomato and Swiggy, two stocks that are in focus today. Slightly negative news flow, news flow coming in for this stock, and negative action also coming in. Both of these stocks are lower by 2.5-3%. That's Zomato and Swiggy. This is on the back of a brokerage note coming in from BofA Securities. They've downgraded the shares of food delivery aggregators Zomato and Swiggy, also cut its price target on both. Zomato has been downgraded to neutral from BofA's earlier recommendation of buy and cut its price target to 250 from 300 earlier. Swiggy has received a double downgrade from BofA to underperform from the earlier buy recommendation. The price target for Swiggy has been cut to 325 from 420 earlier. Swiggy's revised price target is now below its IPO price of 390. 325 is the target. The stock is already at 329, and BofA Securities wrote in its note that the downgrade is mainly led by expectations of rising losses in quick commerce and slowing food growth. The brokerage is anticipating cash flows in the food delivery segment to shrink, although the segment has not seen a material slowdown. For the quick commerce segment, though, BofA is estimating prolonged competition, which will lead to higher losses for both of these companies. On the back of that, Zomato and Swiggy both trading with cuts of more than 2% and in deep pressure in today's trading session. But let's move on, and Nilesh, you've picked out Paytm for us on the charts. Paytm's chart, is rather interesting to watch, because last 1 month, 6 months, the stock has done pretty well. YTD, it has seen a cut, but last 1 year, the stock has doubled in share price. What's the outlook going ahead? Because, Paytm is synonymous with volatility on the charts. So what's the outlook, and which direction do you expect Paytm to head in for this year?
Well, this is in fact the second consecutive weeks of gain after a dip that we saw towards the levels of almost 650, and from those levels we have seen a smart rebound in this particular counter. On a monthly time frame chart, after 2 months of decline, the stock is regaining the strength. Looks like it is gradually inching closer to 850 mark. So that's the immediate target for this particular counter, with a stop loss below 755. Paytm is a buy. And on the upside, we are expecting in the April series stock to move towards 850 to 900.
That's the outlook coming in on Paytm. 850 to 900 are the key next targets to watch out for. Gaurav, coming to you, Jindal Stainless is the stock that you've taken for our viewers. It's on the back of a brokerage note, I believe. Tell us what it is.
Well, yes, Jindal Stainless is in focus today, and the reason being that now DAM Capital has initiated on the stock. They have initiated with buy rating and a target price of 760 rupees. Even if we consider current market price, it leaves further upside of more than 25% on the current market price. What they're saying is that there are actually near-term headwinds for the company. The near-term headwinds are specifically driven by the export market, which is situated in Europe, and we are already seeing some kind of slowdown coming up from European market. But they believe that these slowdowns are transient, and even with this headwinds, company can actually remain strong in terms of fundamentals. On the back of this, what they are expecting is that 21% growth is what we can expect from the company in terms of EBITDA for FY25 to FY27 period, and this will be led by both volume growth as well as expansion that they are going to spread even further. And on the back of this, when we look at stock performance also, it is up more than 1.3%. So definitely on the back of the positive note, watching out on Jindal Stainless today.
Brokerage note coming in. Stock is also doing pretty decently in today's trading session. Nilesh, coming to you, Mazgaon Docks Shipbuilders is the stock that you've picked out for us on the charts. Last 6 months, very good 25% uptick coming in. Year to date, the stock is looking good. Last 1 year, in fact, the stock has seen stellar performance. Do you believe that the stock could replicate that kind of performance this year as well? And do you believe that there are more legs to the kind of upside rally that the stock has seen?
Well, this particular counter has given a good run-up in the past, and if you look at the entire correction that we have seen in last 2-3 months in the market, this stock has been one of the very good structure. It did not participate in the recent fall. In fact, we are witnessing an outperformance within the defense space. So today as well, we are witnessing a good spurt across all the defense names like HCL, BDL and Mazgaon Dock as well. So this particular stock has given a good breakout from a symmetrical triangle formation pattern at 2600. It is sustaining well above those levels in past couple of trading sessions now. So very good structure from a position perspective. This particular counter has a potential to test 3000 plus kind of levels. So these are the position target with a stop loss below 2400. Mazgaon Dock can be accumulated, and yes, from April series or maybe from May series point of view, we are expecting stock to test 2800 to 3000.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on Mazgaon Dock. Accumulate is the call coming in. Let's talk about another stock that's in focus on the back of a positive news flow, but it's not doing all that much in today's trading session, giving in to the kind of sell-off in profit booking that we're seeing in today's trade, and that's L&T that I'm talking about. Now, L&T's hydrocarbon business has won an ultra-mega offshore contract from Qatar Energy LNG for the North Field Production Sustainability Offshore Compression Project. L&T classifies contracts above 15,000 crore rupees as ultra-mega orders. So it's a very big order win coming in for L&T today. The stock, of course, not reflecting the positive sentiment, giving in to the profit booking that we're seeing today. The scope of work encompasses the engineering, procurement, fabrication, installation and commissioning of 2 offshore compression complexes, each comprising of large offshore platforms with compression and power generation facilities, living quarters, flare platforms, interconnected bridges and other associated structures, to be located approximately 80 kilometers off the northeast coast of Qatar, the company has said in an exchange filing. Very significant order win coming in for L&T, but stock not doing all that much in today's trade. Nilesh, coming to you, BSE is the stock that you've picked out for us. Tell us what the outlook is for BSE and what are the next levels that you're spotting on the charts.
See, BSE, after 4-5 days of gains in the past 3 sessions, we are witnessing some amount of profit taking. Now, the structure is indicating that there could be possibility of some amount of consolidation to continue. So, looks slightly on a weaker side. In fact, 4400 to 4300 levels on the lower side might be tested. So, it's a sell on rise till the time it doesn't crosses above 4800. So, 4800 is a breakout zone, and that should be the stop loss. And on the lower side, we are expecting some more correction to continue towards 4400 to 4300.
Okay, so slight bit of a correction expected on BSE. That's the take coming in from Nilesh. But on that note, Gaurav and Nilesh, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for joining us. But viewers, remember earlier in the show, Gaurav spoke about HAL, and let's understand the implication of that kind of news flow, because after a 2-year delay, the US aerospace giant GE has delivered the first of 99 F404IN20 engines to HAL for the Tejas LCA. Let's go across to my colleague Kanishka, who has more details about this auto win. Kanishka.
Very important development coming in from the defense sector space. GE Aerospace has begun the deliveries of F404IN20 engines to Hindustan Aeronautics, that is HAL. This is for Tejas Mk1 fighter aircraft. Now, GE Aerospace has delivered the first 99 engines that HAL had ordered. Also, it's very important when it comes to the partnership between these two companies, as they have been collaborating for the past 40 years. Now, with regards to the delivery of the first 99 engines, as brokerages had earlier pointed out, this provides confidence that Mk1A deliveries will be back on track from the first quarter of FY26. Also, the execution of 97 additional Mk1 aircraft will not be disrupted. When it comes to the company, the management had earlier indicated a very healthy order book going ahead. HAL order book, the management had said that is expected to go up to 2,50,000 crore rupees in FY26. As of December, the orders were worth 1,30,000 crore. And in the next 12 months, order accretion is estimated to be 1,65,000 crore rupees. Now, when we look at the HAL stock following this announcement, the stock has risen up to 4% in the trading session today, and it also participated in the recent rally that the defense sector space saw.
Well, absolutely, Kanishka. Thanks so much for taking us through all of those details. The significant delivery coming in for HAL. That stock is also doing very well in today's trade. But on that note, we'll wrap it up on this edition of Market Fatafat. From me and the team that put this show together, thanks so much for tuning in.